Here's why I will always invest in real estate. So, looking at my properties that I own, I don't own a ton, but the ones I do have, and then looking at different stocks and bonds situations that I have worked on in the past or that I've bought into. Oh my God, real estate is just the best in my opinion. You can always speak to your own financial advisor, but when I'm speaking, I'm just talking about my own personal situation. I love real estate. It's what I do. I don't sell something I don't believe in. I believe in real estate. Even if it's just your personal home, it's an investment into your future. I'm a fan of it. So I've put thousands into the stock market and they go up one day and the next day they're crashing down below. And I have made some money in the stock market, but I've pulled everything out of the stock market almost entirely. And I invested in real estate. I believe in real estate. In my experience, the homes I have almost doubled every 10 years in their value. And that's huge to me. I don't see any of my stocks or bonds have ever doubled in 5, 10, 20 years. Like it just hasn't happened. And that's frustrating to me. So I see a lot of movement in real estate. In worst case scenario, if it doesn't build that equity or it doesn't appreciate the way I want it to appreciate, it's still rentable. It's still something that I can take care of, and the rental income will pay for me to keep it up and maintain it and keep that property in my own name until the market does go up if I decided I wanted to sell. So, real estate is something I truly believe in. I invest in real estate personally. No, I'm not going to go buy 10 properties if there's a great deal. I'm a normal working class person. I am a real estate agent, and that's my full time profession. And yeah, every once in a while, I'll find a good deal and I'll buy it. But it's just a matter of what you're comfortable with. You can always speak with your financial advisor and talk more with your CPA or financial advisor about your investments. But real estate, I absolutely love. Let's say I've got a property over in Defuniak Springs. And it's great to have that property, but it's getting older. So if I wanted to sell that property in 1031 exchange, that's a big one. I'm sure you're aware of a 1031 exchange. I could take that sale and roll it into another property, a brand new 2025 construction property over in Crestview, let's say. So there's a ton of options with real estate. I could rent it out and enjoy a little profit off of rental income. I could decide to buy a new piece of real estate and have the tenant pay that mortgage, and it would end up kind of offsetting what I have going on for my DTI, because it's not really a debt if I'm making $100 profit or $200 profit per month. So I'm always very careful with my rentals. I always want to be fair, and I don't want to gouge with rental prices because I've rented. I know what it's like. So there's a fine line where you can find profit versus income versus having your mortgage covered, having your bills and expenses for maintaining that property, because at the end of the day, owning the property later on and 20 years is the real goal. It's not, hey, let's see how much we can get right now. There's a happy medium between maintenance and profitability. So I'm a big fan of real estate. Real estate is already always taking care of me. I mean, there's always maintenance on real estate. There was somebody who said that owning a boat was like standing under a shower and ripping up $100 bills. Real estate can feel like that sometimes, but really, when the big stuff is done, you've added value to it. When you put that new roof on, you've added value to that home. When you re-landscape, you've added a little value to that home. When you update the kitchen, you've added value to that home. And there's so many things you can do if you get a property that is not polished. I always call it, I'm always looking for the unpolished pearl, where it has good bones. It's a decent solid property. It's a little older, but it has that brand new roof. It has the bigger systems, but that kitchen is painted lime green, or that outside is painted red. So I look for those things where it's just a matter of a little bit of paint and a little bit of flooring. And if you find yourself in a situation where you could get a VA loan or an FHA loan, and you can occupy that property while you improve it and then live there for a year or two or whatever you feel comfortable with, and you ended up moving out and renting it, and then you slowly upgrade, that is the best situation. We did that with the first property we bought in Niceville, and it was just wonderful. We absolutely loved being able to fix it up and looking good and get it looking good. And every little thing we did, like changing out doorknobs here and there little by little, because we needed a place to live anyway. But doing those little improvements, we knew that that was adding to the bigger picture of actually having it rentable or having it more desirable when it went on the market. No, we didn't change out the, no, we didn't change out, what do you call this stuff? The scratch resistant countertop material. It's not, I keep wanting to say linoleum, but laminate. We know we didn't change out the laminate countertop. We left it as it was. You can if you want. Now quartz and quartz is said to be very durable and is very desirable, but for us, it looks so good. It was in such good condition after 15 years. That it was installed. We just left it and we're like, well, the tenant might scratch it up. Maybe the next tenant will change it out for. But there's just so much to be said about just beautifying through painting. Like we even had a nice little painting party with my in-laws. They came over when we first got the place because we didn't know really what we were going to do with it in the future. We hoped that we would rent it out. And so now it's rented and we absolutely love our tenant. So that's not always the case. But anyway, real estate, I think, is a terrific investment. I think, you know, we've owned the property for 5 years. It's already gone up in value by $100,000 from our purchase price, $130,000 to be exact. And I'm happy with that. Like that's huge from 5 years. And, you know, a lot of the properties that I've looked at, almost every property that I've looked at and done research on has almost doubled in 10 years, every 10 years. And that's so big when it comes to investments and numbers that the stock market couldn't do that for me, at least to my knowledge and my skill set within the stock market. I don't get it. And things can go up and down. They're very volatile. So with real estate, even if they did get volatile and they go up and down, which it does, I could hold it and continue to rent it and the bills are paid on the property. And then when it is time to sell, if I wanted to sell, I could when the market is higher. So that's just my story. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a real estate agent and I'm a real estate investor, and I truly believe in investing in real estate. You know, the goal is to work up to having the patience for short-term rentals. That's such a great way to invest. There's a great return on investment, and you know, right now I've got long-term rentals, and I'm very happy with those. But like short-term rentals, it seems like a little bit more scary of a move to make. I've helped people possess long-term rentals and got them in touch with good managing companies. But that's the next step in the future. But I want to make sure to get a few more long-term rentals. So that's the bread and butter. And then we'll slowly work our way up to those condos that you can go and stay in and enjoy. I've got a friend who owns some property over in Helen, Georgia. And that's just the greatest. They can go check on their property, but also get a little mini vacation. So don't be stuck on localized. There's great investment properties here in Destin, in Niceville, Valparaiso, and Shalimar. There's a lot of different places that are waterfront or have something that would draw a short-term renter. But there's also, you know, other cities and states where you can find a good property that is a terrific investment. So all you have to do, the first step is contacting a real estate agent and knowing where you want to buy. Contacting a real estate agent in that area, and they usually can help you find something. I'm over here in the Destin area. If you need a real estate agent for investment, I have people who run my numbers who can help you come up with projections. And if you're just looking for that first or second rental, that's a long-term rental, I can help you with that as well. Or if you're looking for the 1031 exchange, I'm very well versed in 1031 exchanges. I've done a few in my day. So I'm a big fan of the 1031 exchange. That's specifically for investment properties where you roll over the tax burden. So yeah, I'm always here if you have any questions about it, or if you have input. I'd love to hear what you do for your investments and what works for you. If it's the stock market, please by all means share. I'm very interested in understanding how it works. Or if you're interested in real estate, what has worked, what hasn't worked, what you like to do to the property. I'd love to hear your take on it. This is just my take. I'm no big time investor. I'm not Blackwater or whatever you call the big investment company. Blackstone, is it? Anyway, I'm not affiliated with them. I'm a small town mom and pop deal going on over here. So I'd love to hear what you do and what works for you and what you found maybe that doesn't work. I'm very curious about that as well. But yeah, sure, feel free to comment below, and I'd love to hear what your take is on real estate and real estate investing.